There they are. It's Friday night, baby. A lot going on, huh? First of all, I got to start with something. Got some new members in here. Welcome to you guys. Good to see our chat is here. Okay, so I know that this this guys, help me out here. Help me. This situation, what's it called that? I can't anyway, long story short, this hearing was a couple of days ago, and the reason I wanted to talk about it tonight is because this is going to be the beginning of a situation where we're going to have to deal with this for a while. Again, I told you guys, I don't know if I'm going to be talking about it forever. I don't know if we're going to talk about it through the trial, and maybe I'll just need to digest it. Maybe we'll talk about it after. Maybe we'll just keep it moving. I don't know, but it's good to see you guys. I am happy to see you. We are going to talk about this. I know you guys have probably seen it. I personally have not seen this yet at all. Have no idea what's going on in this video. It's 55 minutes. So if there's like breaks and stuff, we're going to scrub through that pretty quickly because I don't think we need to take 55 minutes to listen to the entire thing. We'll just get into what we can. So first of all, as we always know, or how we always start, it's good to see you guys. Do appreciate you guys being here. And again, I'll let you know, like, I'm baffled by, oh, hold on. Did the shoe walk away? You guys get me, because I get going and then I got to answer. Look, she's right there. She's a good gal. She's behind my head. I got a big head. I did not get subpoenaed. I have not heard anything from anybody. And I did get sent the witness list. This is crazy because the reality of all these things, it is hard to put into context, into words for you guys. But I do appreciate you. I was going to start with this. So we started this channel a long time ago. I started doing this channel 2017, and now, it's been an up and down situation, and now we have something that I never could have imagined it being. So I'm just going to take the second before we start into the video to just say that I cannot believe what God is doing here. I wrote you guys kind of a little love letter on the community tab. If you haven't seen that and you're interested, it is there. I just want to say thank you guys for being here. This is incredible. This is bigger than anything I ever imagined it to be. And I'm just grateful, and I'm grateful for you. So I just had to say it. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And this has been incredible journey for me, and it is very, very obviously not the best circumstances and reason why we talk about some of these things, but it is real. And I think that we're just processing what is right in front of us, and then we're going to continue to keep going forward. But you guys being a part of that is huge. And so I just want you guys to know I acknowledge you, love you. None of this is possible without you, and our community is become something that I never thought possible. So you guys are real ones. And I love you. All right. We're gonna jump right in. Got the headphones and everything. I'm gonna have to find some cordless headphones, because eventually plugging this thing in is gonna get annoying. We are gonna react kind of in real time. And then if you guys are not aware, I did post for you that, well, I gotta fix it. It's gonna bug me. That we're gonna have a Zoom call at the very end, and I want to know your guys' thoughts. Oh, he got the headphones and never dying. He's gonna make me talk dumb right now. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this. Again, don't know what she is planning here. This is a long one. We'll scrub through it. Let's do it. Let's get to it. And I got some other stuff we'll talk about at the end. If you guys are interested, I'm gonna post the Zoom call link into the description. Once we get to that point, you guys can call in. We've done this a few times. It's gone pretty smoothly. I really love talking to you guys, and I love to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. So after we finish the video, you guys will have a chance to call in and join the Zoom call, and we'll go one-on-one, and you guys can talk about what you think. So let's get to it. Present this to you. Oh, I loves it. Hey, that one's not bad. We'll try this one for now. All right, here we go.
2022-001-242.
Attorney K, on behalf of the state, for the record, the next of kin in the 2021 and the victim in the 2022 are appearing virtually. Good morning, Your Honor. Pamela Hicks, Advisory Council on behalf of Ms. Daybell, and Robert Abernathy is out of the office today.
Okay. You want
Yes,
to announce?
Kathy, it is. I know you
Lori
guys have
Daybell?
seen it yet.
On
Thank you.
behalf of myself.
All right, we have a number of things to
Rachel.
get through this morning. The first thing I want to address is there's been multiple media requests.
Oh, I want to hear this.
I don't know if there's a representative of the media that can address this, but my question is, if there's a single pool camera, is there some sort of agreement or cooperation between other media outlets to use a single camera?
Your Honor, if I may, Matthew Kelly, I represent Court TV, and our understanding is that, yes, there is a pool arrangement, and Court TV has asked to be the pool for the trials in this matter. I believe that that request is pending with the PIO. Regardless, the media that are interested in camera coverage do have a pool arrangement.
Okay.
Okay, so real quick, that's one thing I thought would be interesting is she doesn't want media in there during the trial, but she just did an interview. Let's pick a lane here. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I want to say about that.
I know that there was, I don't know if it was Court TV or another outlet requested multiple cameras and a still camera. I'm inclined to just allow a single camera. Do you want to speak to that?
Yes, Your Honor. Court TV would prefer to have two of its own cameras. One of its own cameras is perfectly fine. Court TV's equipment is actually smaller than the camera we have here today, and can be operated remotely.
Wow,
So
really?
it's much more unobtrusive. Court TV also has in the past used the feed from one of the cameras here for the webcasting of hearings for its purposes as well. Court TV will position its camera so that jurors are not in the field of view and would not use any of these cameras that have a view of the jurors.
All right.
Thank you, MB.
Is there anyone else here from the media that wants to be heard? I don't hear any.
Prepare for
State
snark.
want to take a position?
Oh boy, here we
Yeah.
go.
All right. I know the defendant filed an objection. I've read your objection. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, Your Honor, I'd just
What
like to add
objection?
some case law to that. Shepard versus Maxwell, 337 U.S. The United States Supreme Court, Mr. Justice Clark, held that failure of the state judge in murder prosecution to protect defendant from inherently prejudicial publicity, which saturated the community to control disruptive influences in courtroom, deprived the defendant of a fair trial consistent with due process. So that and Arizona versus Cheney, which was the defendant is entitled to fair and impartial trial when publicity pervades court proceedings to the extent that the proceedings were prejudiced to the defendant. So obviously you read my objection, so I just wanted to add those on the record.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your prior attorneys had filed a series of objections to media coverage being allowed in the courtroom, and I made a prior ruling that was filed back September 4th, which was fairly comprehensive. I am inclined to allow one pool camera. I'll issue an order with more detailed findings later today or tomorrow. But essentially, there won't be any media coverage during the jury selection process, and I'll put the reasons for that in the order. So that's, again, I'll issue a more detailed order later today or tomorrow. All right.
Your Honor, there's also the issue of whether Court TV would be allowed to live stream the trial. In other words, broadcast online in real time. Court TV would prefer to do that.
Are you able to, are they able to do a 1 or 2 minute delay?
Certainly, we can certainly do that. I just want to inform Your Honor, however, that when we share the footage with the pool, we can't delay that footage. So your order would need to require that all media receiving the feed delay it by however long you wish to delay it.
And the camera, the pool camera would be
No, you guys do.
simultaneously distributing that feed to whatever media requested.
Thank you.
That's
Lord.
correct. We have the capability to distribute to up to 30 or 40 different media outlets. So we have plenty of bandwidth to do so.
It's prejudicial and it's going to be.
All right.
He's freaking whispering in the mic. hey, buddy. If I talk into the mic, you can hear me. Hey there, Lori.
All right.
You talk in the
Let's
mic. You're
get
gonna
down
hear
to
me.
business on some of the.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
So
could I just
okay.
add that we want to make sure that the camera's not going to be
getting
zooming in at
interrupted.
any level to get to our notes and the things that are going to be on the table. I also previously,
That's never happened.
what has happened before is that they just have the camera on my face the entire trial. So I think when the judge is speaking,
Hey, brother. Yeah. What else are they supposed to do? They're going to set up a simple camera facing you. They're going to set up a camera facing whatever else, and that's about it. This isn't a TV show. I don't understand what she's mad
the
about.
judge needs to be on the camera. When the state is speaking, they need to be on camera. If we can add that to the order, I think.
All
it
right.
would
Well,
be
my
correct.
draft already includes that there'll be no zooming in on council table,
As he
anything
zooms
on
in.
council table, or anything being handled, notes or that sort of thing being handled by any
That's funny, bro. I'm not making fun of this situation. I know the cameraman's doing his job, but as the dude's zooming in, there'll be no zooms. That's
the
great.
parties or the attorneys. As far as what they focus on, they'll be limited to focusing on the parties, myself, the witness, depending on the witness. I need to ask the state about that in a second, but they won't be allowed to broadcast any image of any juror. While I'm on that subject, let me ask the state, are you seeking any sort of protective order when a named victim
Shadow.
testifies?
You made it, Jules.
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Will you let me know if that changes?
Yes, I will.
Do you have who do you have the names of your designated victim or victim
Why?
representatives that might be
We have
testifying?
talked about this 4 times. What goes into the notes to the cameraman that at one point he says, "Hey, I need you to take one straight shot at the ankles. Just every time. Every time you get up in there, I need you to get this shot." This is on the gosh dang notes before they walk in the door. I don't
Kay
understand.
Woodcock is a statutory legal victim and will be testifying.
Is that the only one
At
Zoom
this
out.
time, yes.
Thank
Okay.
you. We've had enough.
For this trial, I should say.
for this trial? Okay.
He's zooming in on our notes and everything. Who is the cameraman for gosh dang East Idaho News? You are a legend. You have done every single thing that they have asked you. They said is not going to happen in the trial. You've done. You zoomed in on the notes, maybe not intentionally, but guys, we have to find some type of humor because this is an absolute SH show. Okay, to put it mildly, and I'm gonna go ahead and say my piece right here too. The reason why I think it's so ridiculous is because you might be representing yourself in a court, just because though you are the subject matter. This is not like a lights, camera, action. You're the star. This is you. Okay, you have the right in this country to represent yourself. That's fine. Do what you want to do. That comes with the repercussions of you having to do all the work for that. The long story short is though, the honest truth is she's at a point where she thinks she can dictate everything that everybody wants to see her, and that therefore she gets to have all of these things the way she wants them because she didn't get to control, and yes, I use the word control, she didn't get to control what happened last time, so she thinks that this is going to be different, but she also wants to dictate how this goes. And she really has to, I guess you can't say the word understand. So my point doesn't even matter. Well, let's
Let me
keep
ask
going, guys.
this, are the parties ready to proceed around March 31st to April 1st?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me ask the state next. Earlier during these proceedings in past hearings, you indicated you thought the state's case in chief would take 2 weeks. You requested yesterday to screen for 6 weeks.
Your Honor, I did say 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay,
Love
But
you
I
too.
did say that while we had a defense attorney on and not Ms. Val herself. I am familiar with other pro per
Mhm.
trials where generally the timelines are in excess of those with a
I feel for
defense
her, by the
attorney
way.
assigned.
I literally feel for her.
So in order to ensure that we aren't asking a jury later to stay longer than we pre-screen them, I believe it would be appropriate to screen them for 6 weeks.
so now that you're gearing up for trial and maybe you have a better idea, how long do you think your case in chief would take with a normal amount of cross? I know that's hard to estimate.
And again, I would say 2 to 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
That would be at the outset of it.
Okay.
I really feel for this lady right here.
Probably, yeah, 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. Let me ask advisory council, if we do an questionnaire, would you be assisting Ms. Daybell with your laptop in going through the answers
Thank
that are
you.
received?
Thank you.
Yes, Your
Thank
Honor. I
you.
mean, assuming we do all of that, because a lot of times the courts send us back to our office to go through that. So if we do that here, then yes, of course, she's welcome to use our laptops.
Right. My plan is we can do jury selection in the South Court Tower 5C.
All right. So I'm going to say this real quick, and I just want to jump in here as thoughts pop into my head. I do feel for everyone who has had to be a juror in these types of cases. And this goes past just, obviously, I'm going to be very specific to this case real quick, but I feel for the jury because that is a type of level of trauma into your life that you can't forget. And there's obviously some people who are real, and then obviously other people are going to go out and try to make a big deal out of the fact that they're a juror. It's their life, they can do it. But regardless, it's got to be hard to experience this as a jury. And I honestly feel for people who have to be put in these rooms because it's really hard to have to see this stuff. You guys are awesome. Pizza and ice cream for you and your beautiful family. Thank you. That's very, very, very sweet of you. We're gonna keep going, guys.
I know that the state has requested
Thank you, Carly.
that the entire trial be held there. We can't do it. We can do jury selection there. I can give you rooms here for your victims and witnesses as need be that are outside this courtroom that we'll have. We can have them stream in if you want, depending on, I guess, who the witness is or who's back there.
And obviously, Your Honor, I don't know
Exactly.
if the public
I'll just answer that as well. She's gonna continue to bury herself, and it's embarrassing, and it's disrespectful, and it's embarrassing. Love you too, Ali. Appreciate you guys. Seriously, thank you
will
for
be
being here
attending
tonight.
this or not. This also is a little different in that even in the mornings, the jury is going to be potentially out here while the court is having morning calendar. If there's media out there as well, I'm just trying to protect the integrity of the trial by ensuring that the public, the media are not interacting with witnesses at any time while they're out there. It's difficult when it's a very small hallway and very limited rooms just to put them in. Obviously, I need a room for the victims that's separate from any witnesses.
Wow,
Well, we have
this is getting
on
very
this
real.
floor
I know it's real.
6 rooms, 5 or 6 rooms throughout. We have 3 right behind this courtroom, and we can utilize them as need be to ensure that there's no improper contact between media or the public in general and any victims or witnesses. We can also ensure that the jurors don't have contact. If that means we bring them up in a separate elevator and have them assemble somewhere else, we can accomplish that.
Is my mom going to? Probably on her own behalf. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know the rules when you represent yourself, but I'm assuming if you're asking if Lori's going to testify on her own behalf, I am 100% sure she will,
So-
if she can.
My plan will be to do an e-questionnaire, remote questionnaire for the first 200 jurors.
Yep.
That questionnaire, I need to get a final joint pretrial statement with the list of witnesses to include the names of witnesses in that, but I'd like to send out a draft to everyone by the end of this week. Let me bring up my calendar.
I can hear her talking every time. She's talking into the mic, dog. Move your head. Move the mic. Do something. Put your hand over
We
it.
would probably send that out to the first 200 jurors around next Thursday, March 20th. Yeah.
Because of the way they send this, the first day they can send it out to 24.
Oh, I guess they can't send it
The
out.
whisper.
Okay, so we can send out that the 24th to the 27th, meaning it would be cut off on the 27th.
She hasn't learned a lesson. One thing I've seen them do every time is when they talk and you're in court and the lawyers starts to talk to each other, they go like this. Every single time. Come on. I can hear you whispering.
The answers to those questionnaires would be emailed to the parties. That would give the parties the 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st to go through those answers. We would meet on the morning of the 1st, discuss who needs to be let go based on those answers. Also,
That's a good question. To be honest, yes. It's a very big place. Arizona is a very big place. Phoenix is a big place. All the suburbs of it are, it's a lot of people that live here. So I'm sure there's a lot of people who haven't heard about it. And so realistically, I think there will be, there's going to be people who can be biased because I don't think they've heard of it. I just don't know what it's like when it's like, hey, you're going to be a part of this jury and you can't have any preconceived notion. You can't think or do, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, it's one of those situations where it's like, that's a hard position to be in. You know what I mean? Because once you get called, you have to not go do the research and figure out all that stuff.
so on
that's
the
a
morning
lot.
of the 1st,
That's a lot of stuff.
a number of walk-in jurors that for whatever reason don't fill out the questionnaire in advance would come in to the jury room, the jury assembly room that morning and fill out the questionnaire. So that morning, we'd also deal with those walk-in answers as best we can.
Good to see you, Marie.
Oh, that's right. I back up. The initial answers for the remote, we're going to meet on the 31st. Let those people go. Whoever we don't let go will be told to report on the afternoon of the 1st. On the afternoon of the 1st, we'll be dealing with the walk-ins that come in the morning of the 1st. And the people that we haven't let go the afternoon of the 1st, that will be in person voir dire as needed.
This is with zero disrespect.
If we
I'm
need
falling
to,
asleep
which
over here.
I anticipate we probably will, we'll do another 200 jurors on the 2nd. And if need
Appreciate
be,
it.
we
It's
have
funky. Good to see you.
another 100 jurors on the 3rd.
That next set of 200, would
Nate's,
that,
oh yeah, Nate
be-
is on the witness list.
that wouldn't be a
We'll do that in
remote
second.
question?
They
That'd
don't
be
have a
regular.
capability
Thank
to
you,
do it
Roxy.
remote, so we may have to, what'll happen is on the 1st,
So, okay, if you guys don't know, let me see if I can find it super, super fast. This did shock me when I got this witness list. This is the picture of it. I'm just going to read off the people that she put on it. See if I can find it really quickly for you guys. In case you weren't aware, I don't know if it's in this video. Okay. This is very interesting. Okay. This says Nate Eaton, first person. Vicia Ita Ihau, if I said her name correctly. Gabrielle Bonella, Joseph Pongratz, Ashlyn Rind, Barry Cox, Zachary Cox, Adam Cox, Janice Cox, Summer Shiflett, and Brandon Boudreaux are her witnesses. that list was like, just in my mind immediately goes, she's going to build the case. All right, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it here. You guys are we get real. This is what it is. She's trying to build a case with people who knew her, and the other people that she's mad at on that list, she's gonna probably sit there to grill. But the list is people she's going to say, and I'm calling this right here, right now. Okay. She's going to bring in people and say, well, didn't you see me doing this as a mother? Didn't I take you on trips with me? This is, she called Tylee's friends. What the hell did Tylee's friends have to do with this? Nothing. What does any of those people have to do with anything? It doesn't, the point is it's calculated to, she's going to pull people out and say, wasn't I a good mom? Didn't I take care of you? Remember all the trips I took you on? Remember this? And then the other people, she's going to say, didn't you see me as a child? To her family members? Didn't you see me as a child? Didn't you watch me be this and take care of kids in church and all this stuff? She's bringing in people for character analysis to speak on her behalf and give her a boost to the jury to make it sound like she is a good person, because she has to only go for the morality check here and say that she's a good person. That's it. And there's no one on there's going to help her. No one's going to help her. So the only time that she flexed herself was, why Nate? I'm sorry. What is Nate going to do for you? All right, the only reason I could think she called Nate is to put him in a position of media. That's the only thing I can think of. You know, what the heck is Brandon doing on your list? I don't want to talk on this again. I'm very sensitive to a lot of these other things. So we're not going to talk about anything else like that, because I don't want any of that for them. So long story short, this list specifically is people who are going to, she can say with truth, saying, didn't I do this for you? Weren't you there when this happened? Didn't you see me being a good mom to Tylee? Somehow this is always going to end up about my sister. I don't know why that's her defense. I don't know why she's spending all of her time just talking about my sister. I don't understand it. I never will. But these are people she wants to bring in for character building for the jury. That's it. So
Just all those people, after they give their answers,
yes,
will be
exactly.
randomized. The list will be re-randomized. As we proceed through the second, those people get added onto the bottom of the list. So as soon as we get 12 jurors that qualify, that everyone's happy with, that don't have issues, plus probably 3 or 4 alternates. So as soon as we get to about 15 or 16, we're pretty much done with jury selection. So we don't have to necessarily question all 200 of those people. We can do panels of 20 or something like that. I anticipate losing quite a large number of people just based on prior media coverage and people already having some sort of opinion about the case. I normally wouldn't.
Oh yeah, and Kelsey makes a good point. She said she's also going to use them to make Charles look bad. So this is the only route that she can go, that Lori can go in this point, is go at Charles's character, build herself up, and then make everybody on that list. I guarantee you can stamp it tonight on the 14th that this woman is going to come in and say, didn't you see, didn't I take you? And it's going to be a repeat of that over and over and over. And it's just going to say, thank you. I don't know why that's going to help her. It's going to help her look like she won. I don't get it. Whatever.
Include a defendant's name in the e-questionnaire that goes out remotely, but on this case, I'm inclined to.
You guys adding to
just
the
because
truth fund.
that's what we want to know. We want to know if people have heard about the defendant and whether or not they've heard about, or
that's
if
why we're
they've
doing
formed
a
an
live.
opinion.
If you want the truth, I'm here also just so you guys understand. I understand the context here, and I'm reading this from a different perspective, and I'm sharing it with you because this is what I'm seeing.
About her or this case prior to that. Does anyone have an issue with that, state?
No, Your Honor, I think that that's a good idea. That's going to be at least one of the initial reasons to strike a lot of jurors.
You want-
My only issue with it, Your Honor, is that it could be bad both ways, right? If you put the name in there, if you don't put the name in there. It's been my experience that people will say they haven't heard when they know who that really is. And there's people that will want to be on this jury just for this purpose.
Well,
What?
It's going to be complicated.
all the research indicates that these e-questionnaires,
Shut
people are more likely to give honest,
Nothing.
candid answers than if they're in a group of people and they feel sort of that peer pressure of what's a good answer and what's a bad answer. Your name's going to come up sooner or later, so I would prefer to just get it out in front of the potential jurors to begin with. My e-questionnaire is going to be fairly basic. It's going to focus on qualifications, the charges, the witnesses, and then obviously whether they have an opinion about you
So
or
can I
this
just?
case.
I hate to keep, but this is how my mind works. I hate to keep going on and on. Let me take the jacket off. I'm getting a little hot here. Here's what it is. Okay, so all of these people, all of this, right? Everyone on this list, everyone in the jury, all of the family members, all of the people left in the wake. Sorry, this was unprofessional to do this. Okay. I'm sorry. I got really hot in the jacket. Okay. So everybody is here because of this woman. We're all sitting here because of this woman. So I don't think she'll ever comprehend how many human beings are affected and are part of this situation and have to be dragged through the Lori show. And it's getting old. And my biggest thing is like, she doesn't care. It's so mind-boggling. She doesn't care at all. It's like a joke. It's like a gosh dang joke. And she laughs like we're like, this is casual. It's not casual and it's not funny. And this is horrible.
For the people that make it past that level, we'll question them more thoroughly in person.
And like you were saying, as far as group kind of voir dire, in my experience, we went through 1,900 jurors in my last trial. So it would be good to do individual voir dire if we can.
Your
than
one
group
time-
voir dire,
The
because
one time you went through it.
they
in your
learn
experience.
things just in the voir dire and it disqualifies a lot of jurors.
I'm not opposed to that, but that's going to be sort of a day of play it by ear sort of situation, whether
Sure.
we do small panels or just go a single person. If we go single person, our jury selection could extend into the next week. But if we're able to seat a jury, I would expect opening statements on April 7th, somewhere around there. Just
Frick this. I got to do another. This is 3. And again, let me just say this. I'm not a big, huge birthday person. Okay. For myself. I'm not going to sit here and act like I do the huge birthday thing for me. But the last 3 Aprils, she's wrecked. She's wrecked everything, but she's wrecked all the birthdays. Of course, it's going to be right then.
the
Frick
state
this.
indicated, I have it. There was just one day in April that you wanted to go a half day.
Correct, Your Honor. The 24th.
All right. When can you file some sort of pretrial
Appreciate you.
statement that
Thank
sets
you.
forth all your potential witnesses and a statement of the facts?
Probably by Thursday.
All right.
Work.
Does the state anticipate any presentation of autopsy photos or
Look at-
crime scene photos? In other words, I'm trying to gauge, I would usually put in a question about jurors may be required to view evidence that shows wounds or that sort of thing. Is there anyone that's unwilling to look at this type of evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, we will have both, obviously,
Me.
with self-defense trajectory, and those injuries are very relevant.
Okay, so I will include a question about that type of evidence. Sometimes jurors don't want to look at that type of evidence, so.
I don't.
All right, any questions or concerns about our jury selection, the proposed trial dates from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Just so I have it clear, Your Honor, we're going to start on the 31st with jury selection. Is that
We'll
correct?
be meeting on the 31st,
Okay.
and then actual dealing with in-person jurors on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd.
Okay.
You can't. I'm sorry, bro. Come on, you gotta learn about the mic. You gotta learn about it. It's like, come on, just press the button, please.
Let me ask advisory council. Are there any dates that advisory council would need to be dark?
I am fine for April. I didn't hear back from Robert. I would think.
Please let us know, because in that e-questionnaire, I'm gonna
Mine's the
put in a
8th.
proposed schedule. I don't know
29th.
that I'm gonna screen for a full 6.
You know what's crazy? And I just bring this into context. This started when I was 22 to 23, and I'm gonna be 29 this year. And here we are sitting here. It's just perspective on how long and how much time and how much goes into this. And I get that there has to be justice. I understand that. It's just crazy that this is years on years on years on years because of how complicated this is. All from starting from a dude and a woman deciding to take the route they did. I keep putting that into perspective because it's nuts. It doesn't make any sense.
Weeks based on the state's anticipated presentation, maybe 5 weeks. So into let us know the schedule into the first week or two of May.
As soon as I get an answer from him, I'll email your
100%.
judicial assistant.
All right.
Yeah, you're right.
And one more time, Your Honor, so the remote question is going out on March 24th. All answers have to be back by the 27th, so we will get them on the
on, bro.
27th. Or
You'll either get them late the 27th or first thing the 28th.
Okay.
We're
Oh,
you're
okay.
right. We're gonna need a
should get
big
them
old
some point on the
vacation after
27th.
this.
just so we can plan, because it sounds like we'll just go out to Estrella and go through these.
Yeah, they're closing it at like 8 a.m. on the 27th.
You'll have to have a internet.
So when someone did ask me this, and I want to ask or address this real quick, is someone asked me, do you think she'll call Chad? There's no reason to call Chad. Chad would actually make her case worse. And I don't know if she could. The point being is she's only going to call people who can speak to her earlier character before all of this. And again, she's putting Tylee's friends and other family members of her own in a position to make her look better. For what? This is it's a big waste of time from
Connection.
her part.
Yeah,
Out
we
there,
can use
okay.
our laptops out there.
Okay.
Because you want to be ready to discuss everything on March 31st.
Yeah, and if the parties have an obvious, there's some jurors that are going to be obvious that need to be let go. If you're ready for
We
that,
gotta get the
that's
crews
always
going.
helpful. I know it's a little bit more difficult with pro per defendant and consulting like that. All right, let me get to.
So we'll come out on Friday. And go
Come on, bro. Come on, dog. How many times are we gonna have to talk? How many times I
All right,
gotta
the
tell you
defendant
from
had
another side of the
filed
screen? I hear
two
everything
separate
you
motions
say.
for specific discovery. The first dealt with communication between the assigned deputy county attorney and law enforcement agencies. I've read and the second one was, well, let's deal with the first one. I've read the response from the state. Basically, your
You
response
guys
is
can
you
hear
have
it. We can hear it.
disclosed all those communications. There are no other communications.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right.
That's the point.
So
Why?
let me ask the defendant.
Yeah,
You want me to? Okay. Pause this real quick. You want me to tell you what I can tell you right now? Lori's good attributes. She took care of her kids somewhat in the sense of raised, fed, housed, and clothed. She made sure we played sports. And you know what? It's hard because I do have to split I have to split down the middle because Tylee and I had very different experiences growing up. For me, I had what I needed. My parents got me a car, like I was taken care of. And that's the point is I can give you that. But the point is, the more I grow up and the more therapy I do and the more I realize what really happened, my perspective has shifted dramatically. And because I was so like, oh, my mom did everything. She was a single mom and then wasn't, and then a single mom and then wasn't. And like, long story short, like I had to learn that lesson hard. I had to learn it like, dang, like this wasn't what I thought it was. So yes, is there going to be a, yes, you did this? Yes. How does that apply to what happened? It just doesn't. And it frustrates me because how long are we going to have to sit here and wait for this to end? And all these people you're willing to drag through the mud so you can prove that you took people to Disneyland. That doesn't matter right
received
now.
6 email communications, and they were in a short time frame, not the full time frame. And it seems to me that in the last email ends in kind of a question that was probably answered, and then there's like no more communication. So it doesn't make sense that there's no more. We asked for all of them if they could be provided to us. We don't understand why they're not being provided to us, and what the state is possibly hiding at this point, and they can't just turn it over so that we can go through them. It's been, long over a month since we filed that motion. So we would just like them to please turn over whatever they have
No
left.
lie.
All right. And I'll ask the deputy county attorney. I imagine
Thank you,
some
Emma.
communications
That was
are
review.
by phone. So in other words, we're not captured.
Correct,
Hot
Your
mic
Honor.
drops.
All right. Based on the state's avowal, I don't know. I can't tell them to turn over something they say they don't have. So
He's so patient, and I can't keep. I'm gonna keep
I'll
repeating
find that
myself.
the state, based on their avowal, and officers of the court have complied with the request. The second one is a little more. I wanted to get clarification on. That was defendant's
Fake lawyer
requests
energy.
for video interviews, but it seemed like based
Love
on
it.
the state's response that there was some confusion about what was a interview recorded in an interrogation room situation versus a body cam. Did the state's
never did.
response provide clarification to you?
No. So the body cams were turned over, and they're in like 12-minute increments. There's like 4 different body cams. This was a full 2-hour video that was released by Gilbert Police to the public, and it's online. So I would like that video of the interrogation room, the full 2-hour one, to be turned over to the defense.
All right, so do you know what that is?
Your Honor, based upon the defendant's reply, she's requesting a video interview from the 31st. Those are on
Exactly.
body cam and were turned over to the defense. We have requested everything from.
Love you too, Tracy.
I think
Glad
that
you're
one was
having a good
from
night.
actually the Gilbert Police Department. A lot of these overlap. So I am not sure what the defendant is.
Who was the person being interviewed? And you said the 2-hour interrogation that Gilbert released.
So it's myself and my daughter, Tylee Ryan, and Melanie Gibb.
What?
And is that in an interrogation type room?
Yeah, it was at the Gilbert Police Station, and I didn't realize we were being filmed that whole time. I didn't know we were being filmed, but we were being filmed in that room.
And are you familiar with a video? And
It's freaking pauses. She goes, I didn't know we were being filmed. I didn't know what was going on. So are you? I mean, it's just, he's just. What? Why does it matter? I don't understand.
In a room?
Yes, that's what we have disclosed, is an interview of, it is
And you're saying you don't have it?
defendant, her daughter, and another.
And you're saying you haven't gotten that?
They have given 4 about 12-minute body cam videos of the policemen's body cams that were in the room with us, and they go in and out of the room at different times. So there's different body cams. They're all mixed up. It's not the full entire one. And the full entire, my understanding is that the full entire 2-hour interrogation room video from the ceiling is available online, but I don't have it in Discovery.
That's what I'm trying to clarify. So
What is that? Her
did the state
shoulder?
disclose not a body cam,
What
but
the
an
hell is that?
interrogation from up in the corner of a room?
Why is her
vantage
shoulder out?
point?
What is that?
I mean, we disclosed a lot. Let me see if I can find out. We did.
Was that her shoulder?
Yes,
for
my
real?
paralegal
Why
is
is it out?
present here as well, and she has advised that we did. Your Honor, we disclosed over.
Oh, hold on.
Can your
Where is
paralegal
it?
provide a Bates number or something so that maybe the defense just has overlooked it?
Hold on. Let me rip my shirt
Let me
off
see if I
just
can
so you get a
find the,
peek. Hold on.
actual
Let me just. Okay.
Maybe the discovery notice.
discovery
Put that out there for
letter.
ya.
Okay.
Oh, you can really see my scars on that one. What is going on? Why is her shoulder out like this? What is this? What is the strap? I didn't know that was her shoulder. I thought that was a white piece of cloth. I kept thinking to myself, that's a weird thing on there, but that's her shoulder. What's happening right now? Oh, she muted it. Guys, she listened. I'm sorry. I don't mean to bring the other lady into it. She doesn't deserve that. The other lady didn't do anything. But she muted the mic. We've been giving her crap. We've been giving her crap, but she muted it. Is Friday gonna work for you? Pretty much, yeah. Man, I got a lot. Shut up. Dog, what's going on here?
My previous
We're
team.
gonna.
That's how I know.
All right. This is taking a good minute. Did I skip backwards into more silence? What the frick is going on?
What we do have is
I'm
the
transporting
4
no
body
matter what.
cam. We can ask again and see if they have a overall.
Are you getting this? Have you seen this or someone told you that there's this video?
My mitigator showed me part of that video. Yes. With my previous team. That's how I know about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't know about it. She said, "Do you know this is online?" I didn't have any idea.
And you're sure it's the Gilbert PD on that date?
Correct.
All right, I'll ask the state to follow up with Gilbert on that.
We will, Your Honor.
There, if that is out there, obviously it should have been disclosed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, remind me to follow up on that next
Sure.
time we are together. Next, I have a motion limine, 2 motions in
Thank you.
limine, one regarding Alex Cox statements and one regarding Tylee Ryan's
Oh, here we go.
statements. All right, so let me ask the defendant. Generally, any hearsay is defined as any out of court statement offered for the truth of the matter asserted. The state is referencing what are definitely out of court statements. Obviously, there's some exceptions to the hearsay rule, and there are other things that are characterized as non-hearsay. So how do you think, let's first talk about Alex Cox. How do you think the statements fit into your, either one of those exceptions or non-hearsay?
I feel like the state is blanketing that whole thing, and obviously it's like a case by case basis, right, on these statements. So there is the police interview of Alex Cox that I did not think falls under hearsay.
Why not?
Why does it not fall under hearsay?
Yeah.
Because we're not using it for the truth of the matter asserted. We're using it in corroboration of the circumstances. Everyone came in and told their same story that corroborates different facts in there, not for the whole truth of the matter.
What?
Are you arguing that what he said was true?
I can't say whether another person says that it's true or not, but I'm saying what he said and what my daughter said and what I said in those 3 police interviews determined what the police said, how the police acted, what they did after that, their next steps, how they treated the entire case like it was self-defense. All of those are relevant to the defense that it was self-defense. So yes, I think they're
Just
for that
wrecked
case.
her. Wrecked her.
But I also think that Alex's statements also have a lot of the exceptions apply. 803, 804. There's a lot of exceptions that also apply to some of his statements and not all of his statements.
Such as what?
What the are you talking about?
Like, which statements do you think?
Exactly. What are you talking? What are you talking about? I'm referring to
Specifically, his statements made on body cam to police in the driveway. Specifically, his.
I don't know what the statements are, so that's what I'm asking. What?
exactly. You stupid. No one knows what you're talking about. I'm exactly with the judge. I have no idea what you're talking about. You're not being clear. What statements are you referring
What
to?
specific statements do you think are allowed to come in under the rules of evidence?
I think under 8031, the present sense impression is his statements made to police officers at the house.
A present sense impression is where you're actually observing something and you're talking about it as you see it.
He's you guys ever seen the WWE when they go under the match and they're fighting on each other, they're fighting each other and they go underneath the ring and someone pulls out a gosh dang chair and goes boom. That's exactly what's happening right now. Sorry, I probably did that loud in your ear.
So, isn't he saying, again, I don't know what the statements are, but is he saying what happened prior? Or is he saying
Yes,
something
prior.
that he's, okay,
Correct,
so it's not a
prior.
present sense impression.
Okay.
What else?
Then I think it falls under 8032, excited utterance. He was under the stress of the whole situation when he made those
The
statements.
stress, you stupid mo. Let's have a conversation. What the hell are you talking about? What stress? You induce the stress, you stupid. Oh, I'm gonna freaking lose it. Ooh,
What was his demeanor when
I'm
he made
gonna
those
actually
statements?
lose my mind here. I'm gonna lose it. I got the ski. Hey,
Upset.
this is skeef right here. I'm gonna go
What's
ski
the specific statement?
on ya. Get
I
pissed.
shot my brother-in-law in self-defense. I got hit
Who
in the head
says
with
that, stupid? Who says that? Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Hold on.
the bat. There was an altercation. I don't know what all the statements are, but
I
How
gotta slow
long
down.
after the incident did he make these statements?
immediately after, as far as I know.
Well, immediately to some people means 2 seconds, to other people it means
I gotta slow it down.
30 minutes. Tell me what immediately means to you.
As soon as the police arrived.
I don't know what, did they arrive 30 minutes after the incident? 10 minutes, an hour?
I was not
Mhm.
there. I do not know
Answer that one.
what time they arrived.
All right.
Okay, so you weren't there when it's convenient. You were there when it was convenient, and you can't figure out what you're doing.
Let me. So you're
trash.
asserting excited utterance. Some of these
AJ
statements
would
come in.
literally
What
look at you
else?
right now in the face. Call you trash.
8033, the mental, emotional, and physical condition, because it shows his state of mind, which was scared at the time.
Yeah, I'm sure he's really scared.
Any
I'm
others?
sure.
Yes. 803.5B, the recorded recollection. I know that in the state's reply to my response, they did not think that 805 applied because A, B, and C, but I did not see
Exactly.
an and after
None.
A. So my assumption was
Not
that
scared
B
of
and
anything.
C, since there's an and.
You've never seen a human being more calm in your life. That dude had zero care in the world. Zero.
After B were what needed to be put together. So B was made or adopted by this witness when the matter was fresh in the witness's memory and accurately reflects the witness's knowledge. So I felt like 803.5B, the recorded recollection of his police interview and the body cam footage applies under that exception.
All right. Generally, 8035 is a recorded recollection, meaning it's something they wrote down, or maybe they recorded their voice saying something. Let me ask the state to respond. We're just talking about the Alex Cox statements.
Your Honor,
Maybe I should start with,
Yeah.
does the state intend on introducing any statements from Alex Cox?
Your Honor, I haven't decided if we will at this point. I can say with 100% certainty, we will not be admitting his interview by police that was done at after 10 o'clock in the morning. We don't,
Are you referencing what time he was interviewed versus the time of the incident?
let me say it this way. So the state has laid out in its motion the timeline. So that is actually in our motion. We show that when
8:30 a.m.
is when
roughly.
the 911 call was made. So we have soon after that, the police arrived and there's body cam video from that interview. Then
Mhm.
Alex Cox is later brought to the police station and there is a in-depth interview with detectives at a little after 10 o'clock in the morning.
So you may or may not be attempting to introduce statements at or around the time that the police responded?
Correct, Your Honor. If we do, those would be brought in as co-conspirator statements against a party interest. So obviously the state can bring in statements that are hearsay against a party.
Right. But I guess, is the state intending on introducing any statements of Tylee?
No, Your Honor. Kylie made
Thank you, Val.
no statements at the scene other than giving her general biographical information on body
Pretty
cam.
cool.
Her entire statements were made at the police station, again, after 10 in the morning.
All right. So on your response as it relates to Tylee, you say, again, present sense impression. I don't think it's a present sense impression. You also argue excited utterance. What else?
8033, which is mental, emotional, and physical condition with the same thing, her state of mind, then being scared. And also 8043.
Wonder why she was scared. Her mom and uncle are psychopaths. I wonder why she might have been scared.
Statement against interest. They used that statement in the indictment where Tylee says that Charles says, if you hit me with that bat, you're going to jail. That's the part where she's nervous in her interview, saying she's scared to tell the police that she's the one that brought in the bat. So state of mind and the statement against interest both apply to Tylee's
All right.
police interview.
All right. Anything else? Does the state want to be heard further on that?
Your Honor, the only further thing I think that the state will bring in is that obviously the defendant has been found guilty of killing both Tylee, other individuals, but in this case, the defendant cannot benefit from killing a witness and then later try to bring in their statements for their benefit. So
Yeah.
in addition to none of her statements being admissible under the rules of evidence,
Bye,
as
Lori.
any of the exceptions that the defendant has
Bye,
done.
bye.
We also believe that it would be improper for her to be allowed to bring them in under that.
Hell yeah. You freaking thug. Hell yeah. Exactly. You Oh my gosh, dog. Exactly. You're really going to keep doing this with Tylee. That's your own. It's your own flesh and blood. You couldn't care less.
In other words, there's been
Exactly.
a judicial finding that the reason Tylee's unavailable as a witness is because of the defendant's actions.
Correct.
Because she
There has been a
freaking
jury
killed
found she has
her.
been convicted of
Yes,
that.
exactly.
All right, the court is
Dude.
on a preliminary basis precluding references to Tylee Ryan's statements, any statement made by Tylee Ryan. If there's some reason where a door might be open to any of those statements coming in, the defendant's requested to make a request outside the presence of the jury regarding that, and we'll deal with that outside the presence of the jury. On Alex Cox, I think that's probably going to be more of a statement by statement basis, but I'm skeptical of any statements coming in hours after the initial police response. I think we'll deal with what statements may or may not come in when the police first arrived on scene and or the 911 at the time that they're attempted to be introduced. All right, I also received yesterday,
This is crazy, bro.
state's notice of disclosure and request for disclosure. Did you get a copy of that?
No,
You haven't seen that yet?
no.
I'm sorry, the
State's notice of disclosure and request for disclosure. I didn't realize it was actually filed in January, so you should have seen that. I misspoke when I said I got it yesterday. It was filed January 16th. Have you seen that?
I'm looking it up.
What are we?
Dates
I think
disclosure.
that the court may have ruled on that one, Your Honor.
Well, I don't think I ruled on, at the very end, you're requesting, she submit to fingerprints, palm print, footprint.
Oh, that's, okay. I think that was fired, yes, significantly. So that would be to tie her to any of her.
Is that for other conviction
Correct,
purposes?
yes.
All right. And when did you want to do that?
What is that about?
If we are going to be here on the 18th, we can take them then.
I don't know that we need to be here on the 18th.
And obviously, I was unaware
we
we
don't
were
need
going
to
to
be
set
here,
this because we
And
said
Lori
it
just says what she
Right.
did and
recently,
walks
so,
away. That could work.
I don't know if we can keep that on just to take that.
Okay, what about the state, you requested copies of any recorded statements made during interviews conducted outside of your presence? Is there any of those, were there any interviews conducted by you or your team? Of
So
any,
far?
were there any interviews conducted of any witnesses out by you or your team that you're aware of?
So far, not that I'm aware of.
All right. Do you plan on calling any experts to testify?
We do plan on calling one
Not
expert.
Who's that? Has it been disclosed to the state?
We are, yes, we're working on that today as an addendum to the
Who's that?
witness list that, Lonnie Dworkin.
All right. That's your investigator?
No, my investigator, Jeff White.
Oh,
That's the expert.
what kind of expert is Lonnie Dworkin?
Phone and digital.
I think I remember his name. Are you aware of that?
No, Your Honor.
All right, expert reports and disclosures are due 30 days before trial generally under the rules, so if you're planning
An
on
expert of
using
what?
that witness, you need to get that disclosed right away, and I may have to take that up depending on what the state's position is. But at this point, it's technically late.
May be another reason to be here on the 18th. Obviously, if that's disclosed this week, we can potentially
Exactly.
address that issue on the 18th.
All right. Let me
He
ask
is
the defendant,
patient
do
as
you
it
have
gets.
a position on the taking of prints and photographs? Generally, identification type things are permitted over any defendant objections. So do you have a record you want to make on that?
Not really.
All right, I don't see any
For
reason
what
why,
purpose? I don't understand.
in the event that you're convicted, it may be used to prove other convictions. That reminds me, is the state planning on proceeding in the second trial
Projecting
regardless of what happens in the first trial?
I believe so, yes, Your Honor.
And how much time would you need between the conclusion of the first trial and the start of the second trial?
Your Honor, I would say at least 30 days since we do need to actually subpoena out-of-state witnesses for the second trial.
Exactly.
I'm wondering if it wouldn't benefit everyone to go ahead and set that a provisional
Thank
second
you,
trial
actually.
date now.
That's fine, Your Honor.
May 11th is still my last.
Thank you.
Is that second trial,
What did she say?
how long do you think it would take the state to
Probably
present?
about 3 weeks as well.
Similar?
I'm not gonna argue.
Finally muted herself. Heavens to Betsy, this has been a show and a half for her. Like, it's funny. What's
Your Honor, I'd
funny?
like to remind the court that the last day is May 11th.
Well, I'll probably exclude some time based on the fact that you can't do two trials at once.
The state could combine the trials and do two trials at once, but they don't want to do two trials at once. So it really violates my speedy trial rights if they do not give me a speedy trial by May 11th for both cases.
My gosh, bro.
Not to mention that they did combine all the discovery into one case. They didn't give me two different separate discoveries for two different cases, which would be much more convenient considering the voluminous amount of discovery that they piled onto us.
Does the state want to do combine both cases?
Your Honor, if the court gave us a little time to work it out and the defendant wants to join them, I mean, obviously,
I don't know
with
that,
a normal defense attorney, and I don't mean that in any way, normally they would be
Derogatory?
Defense
severed?
attorney.
severed because you
Me
don't
too.
want one jury to know about the other.
Correct.
She goes, I don't want to be a normal defense attorney. Exactly.
Two
She doesn't know
separate
what she's
charges
doing.
and have a harmful rub-off effect of the evidence in one case affecting the evidence in another case.
Correct, Your Honor. That's why they were filed separately. But if the
That
defendant
was
wants them
great.
together, the state would have to request this be pushed back slightly so that we could then get all the witnesses for that trial together, since they were not subpoenaed for this trial. But if that's what the defendant wants to join them, and she understands that prejudice and that she's then going to be waiving that prejudice with that, then the state is certainly willing to do that. But we would then have to request to have that trial or this trial date moved back to allow us to get the other witnesses lined up.
With a normal defense attorney, none of this would be happening. So this lady, no disrespect to this lady, let's just talk real quick though. This lady, she's her something, her like advisor or something. I just don't understand what her role plays in this.
That was
Lori,
not,
I
yeah,
think
that's
you're
not what I
screwed.
was saying to combine them. I'm just saying, give me my second trial by May 11th. So
Right.
the court can figure that out.
All right, well,
Because he said that's her advisory.
I'm going to
Advisory.
waive some time on that second trial over the defendant's objection. Primarily, again, the defendant can't try both cases at the same time. Secondly, I'm not sure how much actual prejudice there is with a time violation in the sense that you wouldn't be released from custody anyway. And thirdly, the rule for time violations under Rule 8, I think it's 8.6 is that any violation should be a dismissal without prejudice unless there's an actual prejudice shown, in which case the state could just refile the charge. Regardless, I think some time is warranted to be excluded because primarily you can't try two cases at once. What if we set a start date for May 12th? I realize that's could potentially be a quick turnaround, but again, I don't think this case is going to take 6 weeks.
Your Honor,
We can adjust that as necessary.
I, again, am
This
going to ask
guy.
for a longer time. I believe
Oh
this
my
will go through the beginning of May, and to have the state try to get those witnesses lined up and subpoenaed while in trial, I don't believe is.
Well, if I push it out any further, the parties need to be aware that I won't be trying the case. I don't think I would be anyway. I'm rotating at the end of June.
Mm.
And given some of the trainings I have to attend in June, I don't think we could get it done.
Well, both parties could send out subpoenas now for that second date for May 12th, correct?
Well, that's assuming we're,
So real quick, just so you guys, I know this is very hard to follow. What they're trying to try is what happened to Charles and what happened to Brandon, and they're both she's charged with both of them. And I think so I'm also a little confused too, because I thought they were trying them at the same time, and now they're saying they're going to basically do this one separately and then right after that jump into what happened with Brandon and run another trial again.
done
Following
by
this
about
one.
May 1st, probably, in this case, the first case.
Yeah, I agree with you. But they kind of no, I don't know. I'm not going to speak on it. I don't know. But all I know is that they both have to happen. And so I
And
think
then,
they're
Your
trying
Honor,
to get
I
it
did
all done at
indicate
once.
that the
But I
state
don't know.
needs to be dark in May, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd.
You said 21, 22, 23.
Correct.
Of May.
Hey, you two, mute it.
And I would need to be dark the 19th, 20th, and 21st as well, so.
So given that we would be dark that entire week anyways, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to.
All right, sorry to interrupt. I need
This is
to,
almost over, guys.
let me speak with the criminal presiding judge about scheduling the second trial. We can discuss it on the 18th. Let's keep the 18th, but let's move it to,
I don't know if anything else is said in here.
later in the morning. Actually, let's move it up. All we're going to do is discuss a couple matters, and then there's no reason for the fingerprinting and stuff to be broadcast or on video, so I'll prohibit that from being recorded or otherwise broadcast. So have your person here. Let's do that at 8:15 a.m. on March 18th.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And then we'll also discuss whether the defense is disclosing Lonnie Dworkin as a witness and whether or not he has a expert report prepared and disclosed at that time.
You got me with the good old Lonnie Dorkin. That wrecked me.
I will
Can't say
have
stuff like
the
that.
questionnaire for you by then.
Good old Lonnie
So you can
Dorkin
review
got
it.
me.
Anything else we need to discuss that I've forgotten about? from the state's perspective.
Your Honor, I showed two other motions that the defense
Sorry, Lonnie.
filed that I did not see rulings on by the
Yeah,
court.
I don't know what's
They were
going on over
involved in
here, but
motions
they
to
got me.
dismiss. One of them only related to the 2022
Thank you.
case, I think. No, I'm sorry. Both of them related to both.
Exactly.
What's
Exactly.
the filing date?
January 14th for one of them. Was an
glad you're here.
8.2 speedy trial one. And February 4th, which was an extradition rule 8.3.
Nice try.
February 4th?
I don't know.
Okay, so the motion to dismiss CR 2022-001242 for lack of speedy trial, I ruled on January 24th.
Okay.
That
Yeah, this
minute
is
entry
almost
was filed January 24th, and then the motion,
Mhm.
was that the motion to dismiss CR 2021 and 001704 and the other for violation of Speedy Trial Act?
Correct.
That was ruled on February 25th, so last week.
Okay.
A week ago. Anything else from the state?
There, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor, I have
Oh.
one kind of housekeeping matter that I wanted to ask you about. I know that MCSO has some security restraints, the things that I have to wear during trial. And
I meant to
I wanted to ask about that as far as, am I going to be able to stand at the podium to talk to witnesses, to question my witnesses and to cross-examine? Or am I going to be able to move about with the leg thing and the shock vest and all that?
you're gonna stick to your table and you can go to the podium. Okay?
Okay.
When you're giving your opening statement and closing argument, you'll stay by the podium.
Okay,
And if you need to hand a witness an exhibit, your advisory council will do that.
okay. Or my paralegal can do
Or
that
your,
too.
well, is your paralegal gonna be present here designated as your, I guess they can be present. I'd prefer advisory council to be the one that approaches witnesses if you need to hand an
Yeah,
exhibit
what's a
or
shock
something like that.
vest?
Okay, so I'm going to be standing there.
A shock collar? Are we talk? Is that what a shock vest is? I'm gonna have to Google search this right
If
after we're
she's
done.
sitting
What
here,
the heck
she's
is a
going to
shock
come
vest?
get something from me and go walk it over to the witness and then come back.
Correct.
Just the logistics of it. Just
Yeah,
fine.
and there'll be a table or a cart here that'll have all the exhibits on it within reach of the podium. So
Okay.
anything else?
Your Honor, do you use case lines for exhibits?
No.
Thank you.
I think they're still working out the bugs on that.
Do you see how respectful the prosecutor is versus her and the way she talks?
You
the
think we can have
professionalism.
our seats in place?
All right, we'll see you at 8:15 on March 18.
So she can mark
Be at recess on this matter.
Stop whispering! I'm about to click off the video. No one cares about your hair.
All right.
All right, he's leaving. All right. Forget all this. Wow. Wow, we actually sat through the entire thing. Dude, there's a lot going on here. Realistically, I understand that this is something we need to put to bed. But the point is, she's dragging this on and on and on, and she's worried about what she's gonna wear and where she's gonna be, and it's just like, why does that matter at all? It doesn't. I don't know. This is the point. I don't know how much of this trial we'll actually end up talking about, because it's freaking hard. And just honestly, like, I got emotional earlier, and it's just, this stuff it's ridiculous, but it's also hard because there's a lot of strings to my heart and my family here. And she's putting on her show. She's gonna keep doing what she's doing. So it's unfortunate that we have to sit here and be this far in and have her still going. But this is the worst version of her I've ever seen. It's never been this bad from anything that I've seen in the last couple of years. So I guess this is a take everyone down with me kind of last hurrah for her. So it's all about the attention. It's all about the how much pain can you cause. That's what it feels like. All right, so right now I'm going to share my screen with you. We are going to jump in. If you guys want to jump on the Zoom, here's the Zoom. Pop in real quick. You guys read that. Join the meeting, and we can talk a little bit about what you guys think about this situation. Any thoughts you had on what we just watched or the interview, we can talk about that too. If you guys can see it, meeting 882-7229-3785. Passcode, I'll read it out to you guys, is 160627. 160627. Okay. You guys want to jump in? You can hop on. I'll talk to you guys. If not, that's totally fine. I just want you guys to know we are able to have a conversation on a Zoom, but I want you guys to know that I appreciate you. This has been a crazy, crazy situation. And I'm honestly at a point where I don't know what else I could possibly say to her, do, or there's nothing I can do. And so I guess that's what makes it hard for me, is there's nothing I can do to stop all of this stuff. So if you guys missed it, that is the join right there. Let me make it big for you guys. Okay. 882-7229-3785. 160627. Okay. We got someone in the chat right now, so we'll go to her. It says Angie. Make sure you guys also, if you don't mind, make sure that you've got your mics on, and then also nothing going on in the background, because last time we did have a couple people where they jumped in and it started to lag and we were hearing all the background and all that stuff. So I just asked you guys, try to be careful with that, because we'll hear all the bounce back, especially if you're watching the video like on your TV versus something else and we hear it on the call. So all right, let's go to Angie. Wait for it to join in. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let's see. You guys there? So we'll go one person at a time. Angie, are you there? Hello? Okay. Let's go to Nick. See if Nick is
I
there.
am here, but if you're on my YouTube, listening to you on my YouTube, I have to mute one to talk to the other. Sorry.
Okay, you're good. You're good. How you doing?
From South Korea, prayers and hugs, virtual hugs to you, sir.
Wow.
Prayers, hugs.
Thank you. South Korea. That's crazy. How you doing tonight?
It's morning, afternoon.
That's morning. I forgot. Sorry. It's morning for you.
I can't even believe that you have enough in your heart to even wonder about somebody else. I can't fathom what you're feeling, going through, but please know that there's people now around the world that do care about you, that do want you to continue to heal.
I appreciate that. Seriously. Thank you. And that's how I feel for you guys. I mean, I know you guys are all people, and it matters to me how your life is going. And like, I just, it's crazy. Like, here you are calling me from the other side of the world, and we can have a conversation. So, you know,
Right.
it's amazing. It's amazing
Right.
what God's doing. So
Mhm.
anyway, do you want to have it? Do you have any thoughts on what we just watched or anything like that?
I just maybe I'm just watching it unfold,
Yeah.
wondering, are there any red flags that, not to make it about me, God, like I'm even like shaking sometimes whenever I hear, I think it's the other channels like Adam and everything. And whenever
Right.
he says something like, I think I was on the list, I could have been gone. And I'm just like,
My God.
Jesus,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never think about that. Like, none of you were human anymore. Like this person that you love, I don't even know what was it. Was it just greed and ego? Like, how can someone
Right.
claim that, oh, I'm all in religion and I know this is all for a purpose? Okay, was
Right.
stealing their money all for a purpose? Like, you were in your right mind. I don't know about anybody else or their bank, but I live over here and I have to fill out documentation to have a Korean bank. So in order to
Right.
do that, I have to be in my right mind. I have to know what information to give. So you
Right.
can't
Exactly.
turn it on and off the way that I think she wants you to think that she's doing it. It's one
Yeah.
or the other.
Eh,
Either you're totally loony or you're just doing this to get money to giggle on the beach.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing that I think I wrestled with too. And I think that's why people are so um captivated in a sense, because it can't, like you said, it's one or the other. And it's not super black and white, but you can't be crazy and have no idea what you're doing and be out of your mind and then also be calculated. Right. So there's definitely a
I
middle
just,
ground.
right,
So that's
right. I
it's
don't
definitely hard.
understand the psyche of it.
Yeah.
And like, of course, we've all lied. We've all lied by omission. We all lied for the better of the situation. It's just the psyche of a person that could look her own child, you, in the eyes, knowing that you're just lying to them about something so tragic. I just don't get it.
Right. No, totally understandable. And I think that's kind of what makes everybody wonder. I think I went down that rabbit hole as well, trying to figure out how could this possibly happen. And there's probably unfortunately no answer to that. So
Right.
we're at a point where it's really it's an unfathomable thing. I don't think we'll ever have an answer. And I think I accepted that part because you can't really do anything about it. And sometimes an answer is I'm just gonna close the book on what I do know and move forward. And obviously
Right.
this is where she's at and this is how it's gonna be. So you gotta leave it where
Wow.
it is.
Your voice is so strong for your sister, your brother, for Charles. It's so amazing to hear you and understand how much you love them. And you don't really hear a lot about them. You hear about her and her crazy makeup, her crazy ponytail, showing
Right.
the shoulder.
Right.
And it's like, these are people that you care about. Still to this day, you love them so much. And I think I feel that. And that's
Yeah.
something so honorable about you. Really
I appreciate
courageous.
that. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, this is definitely weird. Not something that I would have ever expected to ever be doing, talking about with you guys. But I think one positive that I will always come back to is this conversation with you, everyone who's here in the chat, everyone who's a part of this. We're all able to kind of break something down that doesn't make any sense, and then also be able to move on and talk about real life because everybody goes through stuff, right? Mine just happens to be
Right.
something that we're unfortunately having to watch happen out in the public and live and with someone who
Right.
continues to do what they do. But I think the message always comes back to, regardless of how hard this is, we got to keep going and support each other. You know what I mean? So
Right.
not to flip on what you said, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the reason why we do what we do is talk about this stuff.
Wow. Yeah, definitely on the stand. I was just like, can somebody give that baby a hug? Just give him a hug because he's so strong.
Right.
Just
I
give him a
appreciate that.
virtual hug from so many people around the world,
Yeah,
man.
I know. I feel all your guys' love, so I appreciate that.
So cool that you could be so strong through this, man.
Thank you. Thank you, seriously. Also, have a great day today. Good morning to you.
Oh,
That's pretty
thank
crazy.
you.
I'm
Thank you
gonna
so
let someone into
much.
the chat too, but seriously, thank you so much for your call and thank you for your words. And I hope you're doing good. And we're here for you as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I'll keep praying for you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Seriously. Bye. All right, guys. I'm gonna get some more people in here. Make sure again, if you have your mic, put it on. Okay, let's go to. Let's let everybody in. How do I do that? Sorry, I'm new to this, guys. I'm learning. Okay. So we've got two different Samsungs. I am going to click over Let's go to Leslie. Are you there, Leslie? Hello? Maybe not. Okay. Let's go to one of our Samsungs. I got 2 Samsungs. No? Where are my people at? Where's the fam at? All right, how about Christina?
Okay, can you hear me now? Oh, I'm here too.
Okay, so who do we got in here right now? We got Leslie
Christina,
and Christina. Okay, so
I'm
I'm
here.
going to let Leslie go real quick, and then I'll bring you back in, Christina. Okay. Okay, Leslie, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
We're learning. We're learning about Zoom.
Right.
How you doing?
Learn as we go. Real quick,
Exactly.
Colby, I just wanted to tell you, as in person as I could be,
Mhm.
that we love you. We're so proud of you. And it really is a privilege to go through this healing journey with you. I'm holding back tears right
Thank you.
now. I just wanted to tell you that. I tell you this in writing, but I wanted to tell you with my voice.
Yeah.
There's thousands of us that are just surrounding you with love, and we're living this with you. It's one of the hardest things that most of us have, witnessed. So that's all. I
Right.
just wanted to just send you love, and
I appreciate
we're
that.
with you
Seriously.
all the way. We're with you all the way. All the way.
Thank you.
Okay, honey.
Leslie, seriously. Thank you. I bottom of my heart. Thank you for saying that.
Of course.
And that means a lot to me. Seriously, it does.
Yeah,
So thank you.
there's hundreds of thousands, probably millions of us
Yeah.
just
That's
surrounding
crazy.
you.
And that's amazing. And
We'll get through this. Okay,
Yeah.
you have a good night, and we'll see you on the live.
okay, you too. Thank you.
Okay, good night, hon.
Good night. Okay, Christina. She was patient with us.
Hi, I'm in
You
my
there?
car. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. We
All
can
right.
hear you.
Okay. Wow, I feel like I'm talking to, I can't believe how many years it's been, all of these years, and it's just crazy what you've accomplished. I mean, I just learned today that you had a book. I don't know how I didn't realize that yet.
Right.
I'm really excited to read it. I've ordered it. Like,
Oh,
you've done
thank
so
you.
much. It's crazy. It's just
Yeah. No,
um,
thank you so much. I mean, again, I don't want to go off on a tangent about me, but I
No.
mean, I just wanted to share, you know, again, I said this earlier, but it's hard because this is so public and it's hard. I have to live the pain publicly. And so I thought it's time to try to do our best to talk about the real side of this stuff, not what you see on TV or in documentaries, but like the reality of this being our lives and hopefully help other people in the process. So that's kind of the whole reason why we're all here together, you know?
Yep.
So
It's interesting how she was in court today. I'd
Mhm.
watched it before, but just hearing your reactions to it is because you know her, like
right.
her behaviors and how she, and do you think that I had recently also heard that she had been diagnosed with a delusional. Is this uncomfortable to talk about your mother so freely the way that I am?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I don't mind a question.
Okay. I'm just wondering, do you think that she does have some kind of a delusional disorder? Do you think that's how she's been able to process this and how she's able to come to terms and act like the way that she does with humor and laughing and just kind of making light of what the reality is?
Yeah. You want my honest opinion?
Yes. If you're comfortable sharing.
I do think that she's spiritually delusional. I think that she broke in a certain way at some point and had to have a purpose, and she had a man who was telling her she had a purpose, and after she got put on that pedestal and that dude was calling her a goddess, I think things broke to where she'd rather have what she wanted more than anything else in the world. And so yes, do I believe that she's delusional and believing she's going to be exonerated, or that she's going to that she didn't do anything wrong and all those things? Yes, that's delusional. But there's a difference between being delusional in a sense of how we think like, oh, she doesn't know any better versus where I think she's at. And it's a very fine line between the two. Yes, she's delusional, but she's not out of her mind. She's calculated. She knows exactly what she wants, and she's manipulative. And so yes, there's definitely a lot going on over there. And so it's a tough question because there's really no answer. I just don't think a lot of people are like, well, she's crazy. You know, just wave it off. She's crazy. I don't think that's the
There's
case.
more.
There's more to it.
No.
You're exactly right. There's more to it. And so it's tough. And yeah, I mean, of course, that's the woman that gave birth to me. And I honor the fact that she raised me and did those things. But the reality is we're no longer family. So that's just what it is.
It's almost like it's a different person entirely, and you've had to grieve the loss of the mother that you knew in that way, almost,
Yeah.
I would think.
And unfortunately, you know, Christina, a lot of people have to do that. They have to grieve people that aren't gone. And it's a really weird place to be in. But yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, I remember the mom that I had, and I'm able to accept the person that's there now. And that's just what it is. So I think that's kind of how you have to look at it, is almost separating the two, but it's hard. You know, it is hard.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate you and have a great night.
You too. Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, who else we got? I got Samsungs over here.
Hi, Colby.
Let's
I'm
go.
Samsung.
She's Samsung. Hi.
I will give you my name. My name is Mary Alice, and I'm
Okay.
talking to you from San Diego, California.
Awesome. Hi,
And
Mary.
and I do go by Mary Alice, sorry.
Okay.
But I just want to congratulate you on your family and your growth, and just tell you how proud I am of you and all that you've been through and how you're growing and
I
you're
appreciate
surviving and you're getting through this.
Thank you. Thank you. Seriously.
What's the name of your book?
Okay, so the name of the book, it's called God Over Odds. I'll show it to you real quick. It's on Amazon for you guys who do want to know.
I don't have video access, so I can't see.
You can't see it. Okay, so it's called The God Over Odds. It's
Okay.
on Amazon. I think I have it in the link for you guys who are asking about the book. I
Great.
have it above me as well. But it's basically, it was the first part of my life that I wrote about, and obviously I'll be making a part 2 and however long it goes. But I really think that you know, that I just wanted to get my thoughts and feelings out there for you guys. And you can't really do it always talking. Sometimes you need the time to remember things and then process. So it is on Amazon, and I can bring the link to you if you'd like.
Okay, that's great.
But yeah,
I have a
I appreciate
question.
that.
From my understanding, you're not planning to go to this particular trial. Is that correct?
I don't have any specific plans. I've been waiting to kind of see what happens and unveil the timeline and things of that nature. I think what I would probably do is pick a time to go. And the harsh reality is that'll probably be the last time I ever see Lori in my life. And so I thought maybe I might go for that reason. And then on top of that, maybe I'll go for sentencing, just so there's that closing book for Charles as well. So I haven't planned to go yet as of right now, but I'm sure I'll end up going at least once.
I do like that you plan to go to sentencing and I like the optimistic point of view, sentencing, because still she hasn't been convicted, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I hate to be rude, but I'm calling it now. She's
Oh,
not winning.
I
Whatever.
agree with you completely.
There's really no way around that.
I totally agree with you. But I think that's a great thing to do, is go to the sentencing so that you can get that final closure.
Right.
I personally am hoping to go to the trial, but I understand that there's really not much room as far as there's like only 34 or 36 seats in the foyer, in the actual courtroom for
Right.
for people. So I'm so torn because I've been following this since, you know, I since 2019, since Nate Eaton was in
Right.
Hawaii. And
Right.
are you and have you done an interview with Nate Eaton?
No, we
Do
haven't
you
we
plan
haven't
to
we
do one?
haven't connected. That's
Oh,
something you guys will know not too long from now. I'll tell you that. That's
okay.
what I'll say about that. But yeah, I mean,
And
we
and
haven't
do you
talked
know?
as of yet. Again, go ahead.
Okay. Do you know a podcast influencer named Collier Landry?
Yeah, a lot of people have brought him up before. I actually watched a video of his. This was a couple months ago because a lot of people were saying his name, and so I was interested in who he was. But he definitely is. I watched basically a quick timeline of his entire story, and it was crazy for sure.
It it is so crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've been following him for quite a while. I've watched his Murder in Mansfield
right,
documentary, and he, I've just always thought it would be so cool if either you interviewed him or he interviewed you, or
right,
just vice versa. Both of you
right,
guys did that. I just think that you guys have something in common.
right,
It's not necessarily the same thing, but it's close enough.
right. No, I totally understand that, and that makes sense, and I understand why people have wanted to see that. Um, yeah, I mean, we have time, and whatever we have to see where we go with things and have different conversations with different people. It's a lot harder to get people to get together than I think people probably realize just because of scheduling and things of that nature. But I mean, obviously, we share something that I think is unfortunate in a sense,
I
but
know.
I totally
One of
feel
those
for them.
clubs you don't want to be a part of, huh?
No, you don't want to be in the club. You don't. It's
So
not a fun club.
I have one more question
Okay.
for you.
Okay.
Um, what what is do you work like, or do you just do the podcasting?
No, I work.
And what is your field of
I just
work
do
if you
this
don't?
completely. Sorry, go ahead.
What is your field of work that you do?
I'm not gonna get into that right now just because of how it kind of gets when people start looking to find you at work.
Oh, I
But I
understand.
do
I understand.
no, of course. And again, yes, I know people have probably asked that question before. I work and this is something that I do just more of as a passion and love for you guys and to create a community. So this is something that I make the time for at night and things of that nature just so we can have this kind of experience together.
It's awesome. I'm so proud of you.
I appreciate that. Thank
And
you.
I really do believe that your podcast is the reason why you're able to move through this and that you're healing, because you're not stunting, or you're not just pushing it down, you're working it through, and so I just commend you on that. And I know
Yeah, I appreciate that.
many people in the future will benefit from what you're doing. It's not just
Thank you
like
for saying
now,
that.
but and I know that
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
Yeah. Thank you. Seriously, that means a lot. And that's the whole goal.
Well,
So I really, really appreciate it.
you're welcome. And thank you for taking the time and speaking with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Thank you.
bring your family to San Diego. It's beautiful. They would love it.
Oh, absolutely. We'd love to get out to San Diego. That'd be awesome. Appreciate you. Have a great night. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, hold on. Angie's raising her hand and everything.
Hello, can you
There
hear me?
she is.
Yay, it worked.
How you
So,
doing?
you and I have something in common,
Oh,
and that's Hawaii.
Hawaii, yes.
I am born and raised in Hawaii,
Okay.
and I
What
actually
island were
have
you on?
the Big Island, but I
Okay.
actually I have family on Kauai.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I was like,
It,
but and lately, like with all these different cases, there's been like all them connected to Hawaii. I'm like, why does stuff keep connecting to Hawaii? Why does it have
right.
to be
Leave
Hawaii?
Hawaii alone.
Yeah.
I don't think people can understand how different it is. And like, it really, I think a big part of shaping me as a person was Hawaii because it's unbelievable. It's not just beautiful, but it's the culture. And
Yeah.
so I leave Hawaii alone, please. everybody. Just leave it
Have you
alone. Let it be.
Have you seen the lava flow on the Big
Yes.
Island lately? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It broke my heart too. I know. It just like, and it's just crazy to think that we're talking about that in what 24, 25 of lava flow in people's houses. Like, can you imagine explaining that? Like, oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
the whole island is catching on fire from lava. It's just, it's insane. It's absolutely
Well,
insane.
I actually have a funny story. Like, so okay, so I moved up
Okay,
to I'm
go
I'm
ahead.
in Idaho now. And
Mhm.
so when I moved up to Idaho, it was like I got up here Christmas Day of 2019. So this was all like just happening basically.
Uh-huh. Right.
And so not long before I moved up here, I think it was in 2018 when Kilauea erupted. And
Right.
I was sitting in Starbucks 2 days in a row. Now this is how
Right.
like normal earthquakes are in Hawaii. And I
Right.
don't know how many you felt on Kauai, but
Mm-mm.
on the Big Island, definitely. But we're sitting in
Right.
Starbucks 2 days in a row, an earthquake hits, everybody just stops. Nobody goes outside.
Right.
And we just ride through it, and then it ends,
Right.
everybody laughs and goes back to what they're doing.
That's insane. People are just like, oh, okay, I'll wait till it's over.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, but I do want to say like your courage and like I give you so much credit, and I'm gonna cry.
Go ahead. It's
um
okay. It's okay. I cry all the time.
I just think that they like Charles and JJ and Tylee would just be so proud of you
Thank you.
and thankful for keeping their names alive. Like screw Lori, screw all that crap. Like, you know,
Yep.
it is what it is. But like I really think they would be really proud of you.
Thank you. That means a lot. Seriously. I'm trying not to cry over here, Angie. Why are you doing that to me? You're trying to take me down. No, seriously, thank you. I mean, that's again, like I said, I don't try to make a bunch of goals or anything like that here when it comes to like what we talk about is just real and honest. And I did feel like I didn't do enough for them. And so that means a lot for me to hear that because I really hope some way, somehow that they aren't just because of my mom, because of Lori, that they're not just freaking, just names as victims, but they were people. And that means a lot
Yeah.
for you to say that.
Yeah, and I'm glad like, there's somebody else from Hawaii so I can talk to some like
Yeah, I
I
know.
so being in Idaho, like I found a hula class, which has been awesome because I've been able to get back into that. Like who would have thought in Idaho of all places?
Right.
But and then like I met a whole bunch, like how I met my kumu or teacher is
Mhm.
for those not from Hawaii that don't know what we're talking about,
Right. Right.
is I randomly saw somebody in a Facebook group with the first name Ikaika. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, hey, I need to meet more people from Hawaii.
Right. I need some community. And it is crazy because it's like it's a completely different culture. And like for me, I was completely embraced by it and everybody that I
Mm,
met. And I was like, wow, this is so different and beautiful. Like you can't really explain it. You can't explain it
mm-hmm.
to other people. So when you see someone, you just know instantly. You're like, oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I love that you
Yeah.
have
And then they did a community potluck up in the Napa Meridian. I don't know how familiar you are with Idaho, but like around Boise area
Uh-huh.
where the trials were. And like so we got there and the smell of shoyu chicken like hit my nose and I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh my gosh, I'm home.
Right. You gotta go.
And then I met like 3 people that knew my grandpa,
Oh
actually both my
wow.
grandparents. And And then like towards the end, all these big Samoans and Tongans showed up, and I'm like, yeah, we're safe now. Like we got this
Right, exactly.
security.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
But yeah, but yeah,
Awesome. Well, honestly, thank you so much for your words. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate you. I'm glad you got some home and some culture out there in Idaho. You need it. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
yeah, I'm hoping to get my girls into hula at some point.
They
But
got to do it.
yeah, it'll be fun for
Awesome.
them.
That will
But
be. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let someone else. I got some other hands raising here. I appreciate you. Thank you, Angie.
all right, thanks.
And thank you for your call.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Okay, guys, let's do. I got a lot of people in the waiting room, so I'm gonna let some people in. Let's go. Let's do like 2 questions a person, just so you guys have some chances. We'll probably take like, let's do 2 to 3 more calls, because you guys know it's my bedtime. You guys got the hand raise and everything. Okay. Let's go to Samsung right there. Hello?
Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah,
Hi.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, first off, yeah, your courage for sharing. Um, it's so amazing. I watched the Anne Franke documentary, and I hope I'm not stepping on boundaries, but I'm convinced that Tylee and JJ were there to save her youngest two, that they had tied up and everything. I'm convinced that they were angels there to save those youngest two and to save that family. I watched that part and I cried, and I instantly thought of Tylee and JJ and wished that there was somebody there to save them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then my other question is, what is your thoughts on Lori calling Nate Eaton to the stand?
Really interesting. That's a great question. The reality is I don't know why. I don't know if they have had conversations. I'm assuming maybe he's reached out to interview her, but I don't understand what she would want of all people on the planet Earth, that she would want Nate Eaton to be her witness for her defense. I don't know. It's very, very
Yeah.
interesting to me. I can't wrap my head around it. I'm not sure
Yeah,
why.
I was watching his courtroom insider the other night, and the only thing that he said was it was her attempt to keep him out of the courtroom where he does that courtroom insider every night.
Oh, that's a good point. That's
So,
manipulatively calculated. Wow. I didn't think about that like that.
yeah, and just really, especially where she's calling Brandon to the stand as well,
For the same reason.
So, yeah. Nate said so far he hasn't been served, and I guess Chad's lawyer tried subpoenaing him as well.
Right.
And
Yeah, I
they
don't know.
got
I mean,
that quashed.
that's messed up if that's the case. I mean, if she really doesn't want him to be able to cover it, so she'll call him. I don't know. That's insane. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, she, in some ways, she reminds me of my half brother who went to prison, and hey, this is fun. How can I manipulate the system? And
Right.
so she kind of reminds me of that, of how can I
Right.
manipulate
Exactly.
it and stuff. And my heart breaks for you. My heart breaks for Kay and everybody. It just,
Yeah.
so many
Yeah. No, I
prayers
totally
for
feel
you
you.
guys and everything. And I admire you for doing this and sharing your journey, because it's not easy.
No, I appreciate that. Seriously. And I think that's the biggest part is I don't know what she's doing, but what we're talking about is to point out how ridiculous it really is. Honestly, it really is that crazy, and it just always seems to take a twist and do something new that you would never expect. So I don't know. It's gonna be something I can't wait for it to be over. To be honest with you.
Yeah, well, and I'm there with you guys. She's dragged you guys to the ringers long enough. It's time for her to just get out of her loony clouds, accept responsibility, and let you guys get
Yeah.
on and heal.
Exactly. let's move
So,
on and put everything to rest and call it, you know. That's the
yeah,
goal here, is to for us all to be able to move forward. But
yeah. Well, just know that you're not mourning alone, and
yeah.
may the prayers of everybody who's been there help get you guys through this next 2 circuses of crazy.
Yeah, seriously. I hope so. Honestly, thank you so much for calling in. Hope you have a
Oh
great
yeah,
night
you
and
too.
appreciate you being here.
Yep. Thanks, Colby. You
All right,
rock.
have a good night.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye. All right, guys, let's go one more. I know a lot of you want to get in here. I appreciate it. Seriously, you guys have been so patient. Let's go to Emily. Are you there, Emily?
Hi.
Hi.
Yep.
How you doing?
I just want to say I think you are a very brave person to share your vulnerabilities on the internet.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I really hope it's helpful. I hope it's not just me rambling all the time. I hope it is helpful.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Awesome.
I'm here. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm autistic, so sometimes social anxiety.
No, I totally get it. It's a lot of people. I totally get it. You take your time.
Yeah. So my one
Did you have sorry, go ahead.
question
Mhm.
is, how do you, like, if your kids started asking about Lori or Tylee or JJ, how would you talk to them? If it's too personal, I apologize.
It's not at all. That's a great question, honestly. The thing is, so my kids know about Tylee and JJ. You have to, and I think someone asked a similar question, but basically, um, what we have to do is tell them at their ages and let them slowly understand as they get older. So I presented to them. I don't think they have a lot of questions about Lori, just because they just don't. They don't really understand that they have a grandma on the other side like that. But we have pictures, you know, of my siblings, and like it's weird because they grew up without it. They grew up without that side of the family. So they don't know anything other than what we tell them. And so we just kind of give them the best we possibly can. You know what I mean? We do what we can, and we just tell them slowly, like, hey, you know, you have an aunt and an uncle and a grandpa, and they're in heaven, and you'll meet them one day, and we just haven't got to that point yet. You know, so I think that's kind of where we're at. And then as they get older, they're gonna have a lot of questions. They could possibly see all of this online and everything, so they'll know as they grow up, but just at age appropriate ways. If that makes sense.
Makes
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
total sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
scary to think
I
how
totally understand.
evil people are in the world and stuff. Because it's like, I actually used to live in Moscow, Idaho, and when the whole Kohlberger case happened, it was scary because I'm like, his road that he took, that was the same route that I would go to my swim team practice at the pool. And it's just
Really?
like, to think, like, what if that could have been me or my teammates that I knew?
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy to think like that.
Yeah.
No, I totally understand where that comes from.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It's a weird world, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just praying for
Yeah.
you and your family that you guys can heal and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for your question.
You're welcome.
Okay, have a great night.
You too.
Guys, you're amazing. You're amazing. We I can't thank you enough. Everything that we've experienced together and everything that we've done together is just, it's insane. I can't thank you guys enough. Tell you how much I appreciate enough. I'm gonna keep repeating myself. So here's what I'm gonna do. It's 9:30. It's late, and I appreciate you guys calling in tonight. Thank you for being here. Again, like I always say, if we're gonna do anything else, if we're going live, whatever the case is, I will let you know on the community tab. I'll let you know as soon as I possibly can. And this has been a really, really real night. So thank you guys for calling in. I'm sorry for everybody I didn't get to. Again, we'll do this every once in a while, and we will just like as much as I possibly can talk to you guys, and we can go through it. But I love you, appreciate you, thank you. I'll see you soon, and hope you guys have a great night.